Hey, it's SweetoTOONS, and today it's Halloween! Let me tell you, Halloween has always been one of my favorite holidays. I love creepy things, more so now that I'm older. Supernatural stuff like ghosts and ghouls, you know, those things that aren't real? I wish they were real. But yeah, Halloween. You would think it would be my all-time favorite holiday, but that prize goes to Christmas. Because, well, it's Christmas. How could you not love Christmas? It's the happiest time of the year. Ironically, one of my favorite movies is The Nightmare Before Christmas, which is about both Christmas and Halloween. I guess I just couldn't make up my mind about which holiday I liked more. Regardless, I still love Halloween, especially back when I was a little kid. I can remember trick-or-treating around my hometown back in Canada as a little Jar Jar Binks. Yeah, I was one of the few people who actually liked Jar Jar Binks. Feel free to judge me now. It's kind of surprising that people actually gave me candy when I was dressed up as arguably the most hated fictional character on the planet. But hey, I looked adorable, okay? I remember that year when me and my family went trick-or-treating together, we came across a walk-in haunted house. Now, there was screaming coming from inside this haunted house. Not just, oh, we're having so much fun screaming. It was life or death, blood-curdling screaming. And this was enough to make me wait in the car while my family went in without me. But in the end, I think I made the right decision though, because when my family came out, my dad was walking with a limp. It turns out there was a trap door inside the haunted house that opened below my family, sending them falling onto hay barrels. The fall hurt my dad's back so much that he had to go home and rest for the night. Whenever I think about this story, I wonder if there was some foul play involved, like if there were any spirits that were just inhabiting that haunted house, waiting for people to walk over their trap doors. Wow, spooky stuff. Every year on Halloween, I would do the same thing. I'd dress up and I'd trick-or-treat with my friends. It was like this every year until my family moved to Australia. Unfortunately, trick-or-treating and Halloween isn't as popular in Australia as it is in Canada. At least in my experience, Halloween is pretty much non-existent here. Pretty sad, I know. But despite this, some of my creepiest Halloween moments actually come from my more recent years living here in Australia. Let me tell you a little story. I used to be in a band about 5 or 6 years ago. It was a 3-piece band with a drummer, a bassist, and me on guitar and vocals. Anyways, one day we had a show that we played on Halloween Day. It was really fun, we had an awesome day, and when the show was over, we all packed up and went home. I invited the guys in my band to come back to my place and stay the night. And since nobody really does anything on Halloween, at least around where I live, they said yes. That night we were reading comments on our Facebook page from supporters who came out to the show that day. They were all really sweet and said that they enjoyed the show until we came across an unread message. It was around midnight at this point, and this message had only just been sent. We opened up the message and recognized it to be from a fan who had come out to the show earlier that day. Except the message read, "Are you home?" I thought this was a little bit weird, but I brushed it off and answered yes. We waited a couple minutes, and then we got another reply. It was a photo of the fan standing in pitch darkness next to my car that was parked outside the front of my house. We all started to freak out a little bit, wondering how she knew where I lived. The show we played that day was about a half-an-hour drive away from my house, and we knew this fan was too young to have a license. We decided to go outside to see if she was actually there, lurking outside my house. But by the time we got out there was nobody. It's like she had vanished into thin air. Ooh, creepy. If you think that story's bad, wait for this next one. About a year later, my band was still playing the odd show here and there, but that fan never came to them anymore. We all just assumed that things had gone back to normal. That was until one day, when I heard a knock on the front door. I was the only one home, so I went to go check who was there. When I opened the front door, there was no one there. But then I saw something at my feet. It was a package that had my name on it. I was kind of confused why there was no mailman or anyone to hand the package to me themselves, but being curious, I picked it up and brought it inside. There was a note on the front that said, "Please open in your backyard." I immediately recognized the handwriting on the letter. It belonged to the fan who used to stalk me. I was starting to feel really freaked out, but my curiosity got the better of me. I picked up the package and began to open it. I tore away at the package until I reached what was inside. It was a vial of blood. Now, when I say there was a vial of blood inside this package, I'm not talking just a couple drops. It was a vial-like container that was filled to the brim with blood, one that you'd probably see in a hospital. I was really creeped out at this point. Who would send me their own blood? I knew it wasn't fake blood too because I could smell it. Just as I was putting the blood back into the package, I noticed there was a letter inside. I didn't want to read this letter at first. I was already super creeped out, but then I started to wonder why she would even do this. I reached down for the letter and started to read. The letter read, "If you receive this blood, please go out to your backyard and sacrifice it to the demon Lord Cthulhu. Talk loudly so he hears you." At this point, I'm like, nope, I am not doing this. I'm not having any of this. And I took the vial of blood and the package and I threw it in the bin. This was by far one of my creepiest fan experiences, and I'm still pretty freaked out by it to this day. Fortunately, that package marked the last time I ever heard from that fan. But that note asking me to sacrifice the blood loudly in my backyard makes me wonder if she was there the whole time. Anyways, those were my creepy Halloween stories. If you have some to tell, leave them in the comments down below. My girlfriend WolfieChew also uploaded a Halloween storytime video, so you should definitely go and check that out too. I also just made a Patreon where you can check out my works in progress and other cool behind the scenes stuff. It'd really mean a lot to me if you could check it out. Thanks again for watching. See ya!